You go.
Good evening, ladies.
Hello.
Hey,
Doing?
what's going on?
It's Friday.
Yeah, what are
We
we
made
doing?
it.
What are we doing here today? What?
I haven't. Right? Don't sleep on me because I could pop up anyway. How's everyone week? How has everyone's week been?
Yeah.
Long, and I'm glad it's over.
Did you say long? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
man. It felt like it was like forever. I told you I was on a little vacation vibes, and
Oh
then I
yeah.
went back to work. I was like, this thing is long.
You're like, I don't know if I want to do this. Let me
This
go back
is
on.
rough. This ain't it. Like you know.
Hilarious. How's your week been, Royal?
It's Friday. I'm happy. It's a long weekend. Let's get it.
Boy, have you? I mean, for those of you guys who are in our Facebook, we were waiting for Friday, Thursday. We were posting things up about Friday, Thursday morning. Actually, if you were in our private chat, we was posting about it since Wednesday. Posting it since Wednesday. So I'm glad it's Friday too. And for those of you that celebrate Memorial Day, it's a long weekend for us. Unfortunately, on our side of the world, not yours, miscommunication, but on our side of the world, it is going to be a soggy holiday weekend. And yeah, that doesn't mean you can't make it special, right? A little rain ain't stopped nothing. So yeah, so I'm excited. So what are we doing here tonight, Royal?
Listen, we are
Almost
here.
Linda.
We are here in order to bring in the congregation for a minute. I need the congregation.
Let me fix myself. Hold on.
Yeah. So, I don't sleep well because my brain is always on go. And so I'm always fishing around social media, and I happen to come across a video, and the video made me think about some things in relation to our young ladies, little girls. And when I say young ladies, let me be very specific. Young ladies under the age of 18. Okay. All right. So when I was listening to this gentleman, which we'll share that in a minute, but when I was listening to this gentleman, I started thinking to myself, what are we doing to our little girls? Because we have some little hottie.
Yeah, well, let's show some of that real quick. Hold up, so they know, so they get, and then you come back and tell them the rest.
Sweet Jesus, pray for them, y'all. Just.
Jump and broke, 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 and stop. Jump and broke, 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 jump and broke.
The mother is in the blue, the pure baby in a diaper, not even a pull up or some panties, or as folks in the South say, she ain't got no drawers on. She is a baby. Like,
you want to show another one? You don't know. You're not ready.
No, go ahead and show the other one, because congregation, we got to go into prayer. We need some oil.
We need some oil. Oh my gosh, I cannot. We ready, guys?
Girl, I figure. So the mother is in the white, ladies, and the young lady, her daughter, is in the blue. Mothers, what are we doing? And why do we think that this is cute? I don't understand. And I pray we got some viewers, y'all. I need the congregation to come forth for us to have some dialogue. Call your aunties, call your mamas, call your sisters, cousins. Tell them to come on over here to the experience, because we need to have a chitter chat of a sort. because I
come
need
to
somebody.
Jesus moment, right?
Yes,
Come to
because
Jesus moment.
I really need somebody to help me understand why do we think, mothers, that this is cute to have twerking contests, twerking videos with our girls, our little girls. Again, and that's why I was very specific. I said 18 and under, and I ain't even going. You know what? I'm gonna show some grace for the purpose of grace. If your daughter is 16 and under, let me be more clear, because at 18, other things might be happening. So yeah, but
Okay,
at
so
16 and
I got
under,
a daughter. I got a daughter. But I also know that it is sometimes it's not even a no better. I think sometimes it's just already in the process. So how can I tell you not to do something that I'm doing?
explain. Help me
Okay,
understand what you
so
mean.
if you have a mother, and I'm not talking about me now. I'm just saying we are in a world where even the say as I say is not happening. It's more like I have nothing to say to you because I'm trying to get my own attention happening. So I can't take the time out to tell you not to do something that's getting me attention. So instead, your daughter is meeting you where you're at so they can also get your attention. Does that make sense? Or did I lose y'all?
Nope, it makes sense.
It makes
We
sense.
also
I
we
don't really
also
necessarily
live
believe
in a
in
world. We also live in a world where attention trumps respect. So I'm just all those things are in play. Let's be honest.
I don't have a daughter.
You said that like
Yeah, because I always say God knew what He was doing when He gave me a man because I can't, right?
yeah.
There is, you said, it's about attention, right? A lot of these little girls are grabbing attention. I can't in my wildest dreams imagine me and my mother doing that together.
Honey.
I can't even like my mother, not Rosina, not that's not
You get the whole government
that's
now.
right. Not that lady. Not that lady. She that ain't even that's not part of her ministry, right? But then also it's also the time that we live in, right? We live in a time where the camera shows what we're actually going through at the moment that we're going through it, right? So nowadays you see things. Back in the day, you would see. I always say, and I don't necessarily make a joke about it, but I always say, like, take for instance that Freaknik video, that Freaknik thing that's supposed to be coming out. Oh, somebody had a camera, somebody had a camcorder, whatever the case may be, but that was not something that was everybody had. You know what I mean? Now we live in a time where everybody has a camera in their hand. Everybody. Anything happens, they're ready to pull a camera out and take a picture of it. And that's why people think that shit is cute. It's not cute.
Yeah, but are we saying that if there wasn't a camera around, it'd be acceptable?
No, we wouldn't say it wouldn't be acceptable, but you know what? We wouldn't be seeing it on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but we would still be affected by it because they're gonna twerk some shape or form for somebody.
Yes, but like take for instance, remember back in the day, and I might age myself, but that's okay because I don't care. Mm-hmm. But remember back in the day when there used to be that party downstairs in the basement with the red light?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you winding up on some boy or whatever the case may be, and my mother didn't teach me how to wind up on some boy. I just knew how to wind up on some boy, right?
Well,
nowadays,
natural.
There's an instructional video. Mom is actually showing you how to do it. That to me is some goofy shit. Is
it because we believe we're giving birth to our best friend, and so we live in that mindset?
That part might be part of it too.
Sorry, Royal. Go ahead.
No, you're fine because I want to put a pause, stick a pin. I'm sorry, I can't even. I'm so daggone tongue twisted right now with all this foolery. When you was talking about the basement party, how old were you?
About 16,
high school,
17,
yeah.
18.
But see,
that's the point that she's making.
And that was my point. That's why I had to show grace. That's why I had to bump it down because at 16, 17, 18, Your mind is on some other things for some of us. Okay. So that's why I bumped it down. These middle school, elementary children are out, and I call them children because that's exactly what they
They are.
are out here doing the MOST because of the examples that have been demonstrated within their environment, whether it was
Or
from
lack of example.
be it what it may, but it's an example just the same. And I don't understand why we mothers think this is cute.
But I mean, like, I mean, I don't, like, again, I want to talk about, same thing, but I'm also in the same idea of, is it mothers of a certain persuasion?
No, it is not. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have seen. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is not. I have seen Caucasian babies. I have seen Hispanic. And I say Hispanic as an ethnic group, just in general.
Yeah.
I have seen those babies. It don't matter. African American.
Why is it just the mother's fault? Why somebody daddy don't come snatch them up?
Let me tell you something, little girl. Girl, listen.
Baby.
God bless. No, let me tell you. The reason why, and I have seen a video. Oh God, I wish I had found that one because I got it in somewhere. But there is a video where this little girl, she was twerking. Wow. Her brother, okay, her brother saw her twerking
and snatched her ass.
And he sure did.
Snatched her.
He did. You seen it?
I think I seen that one too.
That was hilarious. And he was like her little brother. He wasn't no big dude. Like he was they relatively similar in age, a couple of years or whatever, but whatever the case is. But he sure did. He shut it down. And so I say that, and I have seen examples of when the father walked in the room, the child stopped. So that's why I'm pinning it on the mothers, because if the men, whether it's the brother, whether it's uncle, daddy, whomever, granddaddy, whomever, when they step in the room, it gets shut down. Reason why men, and I'm gonna speak for men for a moment, if I may. Men know when we see that booty do what it do, then it's time for some Tootie time. Come on, y'all.
Look. But okay, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that it's more than the twerking. And I was telling you this earlier, Royal. Even down to the clothing we wear, it promotes that lifestyle.
We're sexualizing.
Go ahead and try to find a shirt that don't got your belly, booty, or back out.
Right. You know what I mean? Sexualizing and if you do girls.
That's right. But it's because attention gets you further than a young lady will go to school and she gets to that age where she wants boys to look at, or other women. I know we're in 2023, but other people to look at them.
Yeah.
If she come in with her, let me zip my sweater all the way up so I can give you if she coming to school like this and everybody else is coming with their stuff down here, she's going to start most of the time trying to be a part of the crowd, right? It is the foundation that kind of pulls you back like, yeah, I'm not about that. I don't have to do that. I am an older person, and I'll let you know, I let all my legs hang out and everything to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not booty or no booty. I'm not clapping it. There is boundaries that I have that is based on my strict West Indian mother saying, this is not your value. These parts of your body are the bonus. It's not the value. But then when you have kids out here who are trying to figure out who they are, they got moms working 2 and 3 jobs because they work by themselves. They got dads who are not claiming them, or they're watching moms getting their face pounded in or arguing and yelling. And then when their mom come looking cute, gets attention, you start saying, well, what do I want? Do I want to be by myself in my values and valuing myself? Or do I want the attention of someone who gets excited because I'm twerking? Or they're going to come stay with me because I don't want to be alone. I don't like being alone. Though all of those go into it. I don't think it's just the mama. I think the mama is struggling, and so we struggle together to get that's just me. I just feel like there's many components to the two videos.
So would you ladies say that our culture has shifted? And I think miscommunication, you just kind of spoke to that too, but like from a cultural standpoint, as a social culture, not even like again, not even getting into the varying racial, ethnic aspects of things, just a social cultural phenomenon where things have shifted and we are truly sexualizing our girls.
Well, I mean, the sexualization can go, it goes. See, the funny thing is, those are just the videos we saw of girls twerking, right?
Yep.
But you know, there's dance teams that was like, you know, down in the South, that is what, you know, you learn how to bucket, you know, you learn how to bucket down or whatever. And
Right.
they like literally you go, you take your child to go learn how to bucket down. So that she could be an HBCU dancer at some point or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think that it has a lot to do with, but at the same token, it's like just because you bucking it down don't mean you fast. But that's the connotation, right? That's what it looks like at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at what point it became cute to some to see that. I'm not exactly sure what it was or what the point became, where it was like, okay, you know what? It's okay to throw it all over the place and everything like that.
But I could take us back.
Okay, go ahead.
When?
I'm about to go back to the Madonnas, to the Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? Madonna was on stage rubbing on cones, trying to pretend it was best, right?
I remember that, but I won't rub it on my cones
because you.
And I had cones.
But you said, did we change? We didn't change. We just stopped thinking. We started saying, "Oh, this is."
We're desensitized. That's what it was. We became
very like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I'm not even showing my age with this, but it's like, what did Little Kim? Little Kim came on. We were still in school talking about, I used to be scared of right? And look, we didn't even know yet. And we like, and now I pause it. We didn't know. But we were singing it. We were shouted out.
Yeah, the ill nana was definitely a thing, right? It was. It really was.
And then I remember, and now I'm going to show my age again. I also remember being in school, and now we were trying to make sure our knees was like Little Kim, so we could get on the floor and do that pose that she was doing too. We weren't doing that stuff. You know, it was just the trend. I just think that back then, and I'm gonna give an example, up in New York, we'd be in the bus, the back of the bus, and if someone got on the bus, we'd be like, oh, this person could know my parent. Let me hush, because people were still saying that is not what young ladies say.
That's
now. Right now, that same situation, you know, you get on the bus and you be like, oh, auntie da da da, and they be like, I used to be scared with you. I'm just being honest. There's no
I told you we
became no limit soldiers when
we were desensitized. If you see something long, like listen, in the time frame that we're in, where we are right now, is that we're desensitized to a lot of things. Let's, you know, like in general, like how many before you would see somebody get shot or killed by the cops, it was the saddest thing ever. And now it became so like, oh, okay, don't get me wrong, it's still sad, but we've gotten to a point where we see it so often, it doesn't have the same effect, doesn't have the same shock value. It doesn't have the same, oh my God, what is going on here? Now, don't get me wrong, that little baby twerking in the corner, that had first time I saw it was a few moments before the show went on, and I swear the way my face was, they were like, "Are you okay?" No, I'm not okay, because that's not okay.
That's not okay.
But we also know that children are sponges, and that's what they do.
Yes, they learn from what they see. I know for a fact my son's first curse word was from me, because he used to hear me say it all the time when I was driving. They absorb. You can't do everything in front of everybody. But at the same token, that video where the mama was doing it and the daughter was doing it next to her, was she teaching her how to do it? I'm confused.
So listen, that's what I was about to say. If you paid attention to that video, because I'll be studying videos, I'll be zooming in, zooming out, I'll be doing all this crazy stuff. I took it and interpreted as exactly what you said, miscommunication. The mama was over there trying to teach her daughter how to twerk, because mama was grooving now. Okay,
one butt cheek going up at a time.
she sure did. Mama, she got that walk. Now, with that being said, the daughter was kind of glitchy, as my son would say. You know, she was kind of
Maybe she's trying to
like
do
she was trying to figure it out.
Nah.
But again, sweetheart, why are you trying to teach your daughter, who appears to be a teenager? She did look teenage-ish.
Yeah.
Why are you teaching your teenager how to twerk? Because and as a mother of daughters, too, I was not around here teaching my daughters how to do anything at all. So if they learn how to do whatever they learn how to do as adult women today, they learned it through trial and error. Okay, like seriously.
I agree. I only have one. I agree.
Yeah. I'm not sitting down having no daggone tutorial with you. Like we'll have some heart-to-heart conversations, but I'm not going to instruct you on how to make sure that A gets to B and B gets down to D. We're not going through that. This ain't no damn class. Say it class like the unrated version. So.
But that's because you hold certain values that you right.
Because
I'm gonna be honest. When we not that I lie to y'all on here anyway, but when I go to a party, you know, if I'm there with my daughter, I will literally back into her and twerk, and she just standing there like.
Listen, I do the same thing.
Yeah, but my daughter's looking at me like, you ain't gonna get me to do this.
Exactly.
Do this, so yeah.
Exactly, because all they do is sit there and laugh at me.
Yeah.
One of them. And one of them, she's really classy. Like my daughters are completely opposite. And so one of my daughters, she's very classy. So when I start acting and talking or doing something like that's like, woo, because I'm acting like I'm Meg Thee Stallion, I'm having my hot girl summer, like I'm doing, and she'll be like, and that'll be it. Okay. My other daughter know how to turn up. So like that's the daughter I'll hang out with from time to time. But even in that, all she do is laugh at me. She ain't getting up there twerking with me. That is not even a thought nor consideration.
So I guess the question that we had tonight that we're just going to touch on lightly is, are we actually selling out our girls? Like, are we?
We sure are. Some of us are.
What is the purpose? Is it because we're also selling ourselves out? What is the ultimate mission? I feel like I'm at work with my staff. What's our mission?
I don't know. And I want somebody to help me understand this. I really
As you can tell, you see how quiet I am because my brain is like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really and truly am like, I don't know if it's the age of our parents. I don't know if it's the age of the parents. I don't know if it's the time because we grew, you know, these parents that are with these children. Because remember, the parents that are having these children are literally grew up in a time where don't stop, get it, right? Or, you know, I like big butts and I cannot lie. Like these are not like things that happen in
those songs too.
What I'm saying is if you think about times and how they have changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were certain songs that you played and when your parents came in the room, you turned it off.
Yeah, yes.
And now there's certain songs that are played and everybody is singing everybody's singing the song, right? Like WAP, bruh.
I also feel
when that song came out, I'm gonna tell you, I was embarrassing. Because I was playing that song with my child in the car. I didn't care. I was in.
Really?
Yeah, girl. I was, but see, now I have a boy, so it was a completely different.
Yeah, but okay, but why is it acceptable? Why the double?
It wasn't. It's not.
I think the thing that's
embarrassing
for me, the thing that's, and I'm not saying I don't like a good song, whatever. Sometimes I get so excited about the beat, and then I start listening to the words, and I'm like, oh hell no.
Even the R&B songs, the ones that were like R&B, the smooth out R&B, the girls are literally telling the dudes, like it's
just bang me and go.
What is happening? It's like what is, but I mean, it's crazy. But again, it has something to do with the times that we're living in. I feel as though the times we're living in, because Mary Jo Beth was not twerking with her daughter back in the whatever. That was not a thing. And now Shawana and
why gotta be Shawana?
I don't know. I didn't get to the other names yet. I was
give me
with
another
other
one.
names.
Call her something else.
Lisa
and Shannon
and Sharon are now, you know, it's a different thing. It's like it's a completely different thing. It's like you never saw, you know, I mean we just did a thing about being sexy, and we see 81-year-olds throwing it on the Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, but
I never saw B. Arthur and
they had sexy pictures. You
know what I'm saying? No, for real. The Golden Girls are not on the Sports Illustrated. So it's a different time now. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I think it's more acceptable, but I think your first initial thing that you said about we're desensitized, that's it. But the thing is, don't we owe our young ladies the opportunity to have a foundation where their value is not with their butt cheeks and the WAP and the, you know what I mean? Like I went to Target. I love me some Target.
Yes.
And there was, and it's gonna sound like I'm making a bum serious. It was 4 little girls. It was 2 Black girls, a white girl, and an obviously Hispanic young lady.
Okay.
And the 3 of them, because one of them, something else was going on, but 3 of them were wearing shorts, and I literally tapped my daughter, like, is her butt cheek hanging out? And my daughter's like, no, their butt cheeks are hanging out. Not just hers, all of them. And they were just as, you know what I mean? Like, it was.
And that's how they're making, but that's how they're making a lot of these clothes. They're making everything short and tight and like.
So why are you just saying it's the mom?
So okay, so dynamic.
It's society, I think it's society in a general sense.
Absolutely,
and it's supported by the people that it's supported by some people, right? So I know for a fact that if I had a daughter, she wouldn't be wearing them shorts, right?
Nope.
But that's me. Because I got a little. Listen, I got a little bit of scruples and morals behind me. A little bit. I ain't gonna say
a little.
But then at that same thing, it's like, you know, nothing is more refreshing when I see a little girl dressed like a little girl and acting like a little girl and being with her parents. You know what I'm saying? Like having a little girl moment. You know. But then again, there's the other ones whose mamas are like, you know, I'm gonna put on a lace front on my daughter, and I'm gonna put lipstick on my child, and it's like you making everything grown. And you know what? Again, if to each their own, but let's just be clear, it bothers some of us. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like anything else in life. Not everybody's gonna be your cup of tea, and not everything is gonna be something that you're gonna like, right?
But because it's acceptable doesn't mean it's right. And that's
100%.
Right is right. Even if, and wrong is wrong. Even if 50 people say that wrong is right, it's still
wrong.
Yeah. But we also are in a world where we're saying, oh my gosh, it's so much more. But it's back to what you said. It's in your face more, because we had Marilyn Monroe. Hello, let's remember who framed Roger Rabbit. Why did the cartoon character had to look like that? Was it not making the point that Roger Rabbit got framed? We had to have the woman with the big old bitties and the red dress. It is what you accept to be convinced is acceptable. Period.
But again, in context, there's a distinct difference between women apparel and attire, behaviors, mindsets versus that of a child. And that is the conversation at hand, which is these. Again, I'm sticking to what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying. These mothers are blurring the lines between their reality and putting it onto their daughters. And the danger in that is that you are robbing, which is what I've heard from both of y'all tonight. You are robbing your daughter of the ability to enjoy having
A childhood.
a child,
Innocence.
a genuine childhood, that genuine essence of being a child. One thing, and I'm sure even though we're from different cultures, right? But one thing is for certain that I think is going to be a common denominator amongst all three of us queens on this show tonight, which is our parents, our mom, our father, whomever said to us at some point, baby, enjoy being a child while you were a child. I think every last one of us on this show have heard that umpteen thousand times.
And stay out of grown folk
And
business.
stay out of grown folks' business, because we were so and I'm gonna speak for myself, because I think miscommunication and I might be more of a kindred spirit on this one than Madam Pearl. But no, I said it respectfully, sure.
You're fine.
Because because hey boo, because the thing is, we, and I'm gonna say miscommunication and I were a little bit high strung, very opinionated, and yeah, and so therefore there were many occasions where we were about sick and tired of your mouth over here, mama and daddy. Now, we didn't never voice that.
Absolutely not.
Necessarily, right?
That's right.
But in our heads, and it might have came out amongst our peers, I can't wait till I get grown, because I'm up out of this joint. I promise you. So
yeah,
what I'm
you're right. Y'all got that in common.
On the first thing smoking, I was like, I'm out of here.
Because what forced me to be grown is I dipped my foot in the be grown and got pregnant. I was like,
okay,
I'm not no more. Oh no.
I can testify to that. I can testify to that. Yes.
So what I'm saying is, like, like for our young people today, our young girls, like, and maybe for their mothers, like, they're not understanding what it is that they're actually doing, because it is socially accepted amongst the masses, right? Because it is so commercialized, because we use social media for everything. So you get all these likes and all this attention. Pearl was a couple of videos that I had shared with you, baby, and them things was
Yeah, but
and they're getting, no, baby, what I was gonna say is they're getting likes. Like, one of those videos got like 5,000 likes, and this girl who is a teenager is on the floor popping it and making it do some stuff. But who is looking at this? Men are looking at this.
Yeah.
Predatory men are looking at this. And so what my fear and my concern among all else is, we are setting our girls up for sex trafficking. Yeah. We're setting our girls up to be in a situation where, as has been said tonight, you're seeking attention because you think this is cute, because it's been ingrained in you that this is cute. And so you setting yourself up for all of this attention from predatory men and or women, to be honest with you. And you get caught up, and then once you get caught up, who's gonna save you?
Because when you caught up, there's no saving.
There is no saving.
You're caught.
I mean,
up.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
And the thing is, you're not caught up just physically, mentally, emotionally, all those pieces. Like, some people are actually addicted to that caught up state. Right. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we're talking about our girls, but we're selling out our boys too. We're selling out our boys to porn addiction. We're selling out our boys to believe because it claps and because it looks good, it is good. You know what I mean? It's a full. I'm just being real with you.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm being real.
You
have men who never.
I'm depressed over here.
You have men.
You say you're depressed.
Yeah, because it's like, no, because I'm sitting here listening to you, and I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not a like, I'm a realist, right? So I know that this is really happening, and I know that this is like, it's a problem in general. It's like, it's, like you said, it's a thing. sex trafficking of young girls is a global
It's a global
thing,
thing.
right? So it means that it happens everywhere, right? The
Right.
sexualization of young girls is happening. It's been happening forever, right? I just feel as though because we are privy to it, because there's a camera,
Yes,
and
yes,
someone
I
can see it,
agree.
I
I
feel as
agree.
though it makes it more. It makes it. It
It
makes it.
exacerbates the problem.
Yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
bigger because
But
at the end of the day, if everybody's trying to get a click, a like, or
yes,
or whatever, people will do anything to get a click or a like, right?
they did a
The fact that your
psychological
mother,
test.
like the fact that your mother is sitting there twerking with you and trying to teach you how to twerk or whatever the case may be, and it could be something as simple as that's actually honestly it is as infuriating as it is and as like shocking as it, there's quite sure thousands of times more shocking, right? It's just the
Right.
idea. It's like the idea that as women, like you say, how do we protect our girls outside from the world? That's a big question because it's so prevalent now. It's out there, right? It's everywhere. I don't know, and that's why I said it's getting me. It's like I'm not saying I'm
It's not
depressed in that
just
way, but I'm like, damn, it's kind of sad, right?
it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's just protecting our girls. I
Educating,
think it's educating our girls.
educating.
That's how you protect
It's
them.
1,000. First of all, it's an all the time job, right? My child is over 18,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of us in a parental stance, it's just natural. We're nurturers. We want to protect, right? So I think it falls into that whole you're protecting, you're protecting. Then they get out into 18. All right, get out. You gotta go. Blah blah blah. But what were you protecting? We don't realize how much our parents are taking the bullet for us and protecting us till we get to the outside world. I think it's really about, and this is from me, I grew up a bit sheltered. I believed life was this certain way. And when I got out on my own, I think I broke my own heart because I believed what my parents, created for me in my little bubble. It doesn't mean I wasn't social. It doesn't mean any of that.
Mhm.
But I learned so many lessons the hard way because using the metaphor, teach someone how to fish, don't give them the fish. My
Right.
mom just protected me, didn't teach me how to protect myself. And my brain was exploding. Like, people really think like this? Oh my gosh, this person saw this, but they still were doing, and I dealt with that. So I think to answer the question, it's protect them while teaching them why they need to protect
Absolutely.
themselves and the benefits of doing it. Just like
We have to have
Absolutely.
open dialogue with our girls
mm-hmm.
and be honest, right? To a
Right.
degree of whatever your child can function, because
Process.
not everybody can
Mhm.
process the same
That's
information
right.
Yes,
the
yes.
same way, right? So at the end of the day, when you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, okay, I gotta be, listen, I blew my mother's mind today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went over there and I was talking to
I'm
her
not gonna lie to
and I
you.
was telling her, no, for real. I was telling her all the things that I went through in my in a couple of relationships that I've been in. I don't know how we even got there,
Mhm.
but she was like, and now mind you, I'm grown,
Right.
right? My
Right.
child is grown. I'm grown. We grown, right? And I'm sitting there talking to my mother, and I'm telling her what I went through. And this lady, you would think this was happening now because, of course, I'm her daughter, right? So she's always gonna feel that thing like, I can't believe you went through this, and I didn't know. Yeah, because it wasn't a thing that we shared in that thing. I didn't come and say, sit down and say, so
Right.
guess what happened to me today?
Mhm.
That's not a thing that we did because that's not the kind of household I grew up in where full disclosure was one of those things. I like the fact that you have, like you ladies have daughters or whatever, and your daughters can, I'm sure, if they decide they need to have a conversation about whatever it is they need to have a conversation about, they feel like they're comfortable and free to come talk to you.
Right.
That is a tool in their toolbox that you've given them that they'll
Right.
be able to use moving forward. And they probably will use that with their children as well. I didn't have that thing. And it was almost like I said what I said, not because I almost said it because I was like, yeah, so this is what happened to me. And it was almost like I don't want to say vindictive or mean, but I needed her to hear what I was saying.
Right.
And I also needed her to know that I'm okay though.
Mhm. Mhm.
Although this is all happening and and you didn't shelter me from it or you didn't, help me with it when it was going on, I got through it and I'm okay now.
Yeah, I think my experience is similar but different because my background. I did not tell my mother about my life experience in my relationship until she started battling dementia. So she doesn't even remember half of the things I told her anyway.
Well, I'm sure you
But
said it.
I said it in a, you put me out there by myself, and this is the beep beep that happened to me, right? That's when I put it out there, because not only did I have to learn what was out there, I had to learn what was out there by myself. You know, I thought I was so equipped because I was smart, but I was book smart. I wasn't street smart. And I had to learn being street smart alone. And that same, oh my gosh, I had to learn, because in a way, I put myself out there, right? And I'm gonna be honest, it would have been easier if I was sleeping around. Then I would have left one situation, went to another situation, went to, like, in survival mode. But I was still trying to live the, rose-colored life my mom gave me. That same lack of being prepared for the world is what made me drive in a tornado almost 3 hours to save my knucklehead daughter, love you, from a boy that I knew, like, this is not good. Yes. I literally had a hammer, a knife. I was ready to go because, and miscommunication.
You like a knife, girl. If you don't love nothing else in life, you like a knife.
I love a knife. You could put some butter on some bread with a knife. You could cook a meal. It's a good tool. Anyway, not the point. It is what fueled me to go, because in that moment I said, I will never let my child think I left her out there for the BS. I didn't want her to feel like that's your decision. Deal with it.
So you gave her what you didn't think you had.
1,000.
And I think that has a lot to do with the way I think these young women, these young mothers or whatever, are being their child's friend because their mother was their friend. I think that has a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, to be honest, I knew she was going to be in a bad situation. Let's be honest. We're going to be honest. Let's be honest. My child had this boyfriend, and if you know me, then you know me. I have this extra discernment that just works. I can't explain it to you, okay? I don't claim to be God. I said, daughter, don't do it. She's like, I'll be fine. Daughter, don't do it. She was 18 already. Only so much. I even took her wallet and was like, oh, I'm going to hide the ID. So when she tries to get on the bus, she's not going to be able to get on the bus because she needs it to buy the ticket. She done bought that thing on online. It didn't matter. Got all the way to Virginia, and that young man showed his entire ass. Okay? Couldn't call me because he broke her phone. Had her up in a hotel room. Okay? And what saved her was she went to the mall with him and said, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, and used a phone in the mall to call her ex-boyfriend, who didn't know his front from his back. So then he called us. Okay. Wow. I literally worked a 10-hour day. Okay. Cause I was like, oh, you know how we stay in those extra hours to work. Came home and my son goes, mommy, boop, doop, 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 doop. Excuse me. We had the hurricane warning coming. I said, okay. I put some sweats on. I didn't even wash my booty because you know what? If it stank, I was going to rub it in his face too. We are going to get your sister. And I'm being real. My oldest son was like, all right. I said, go put your Timbs on because you look big. But I'm being real. I'm being completely real with you. Now, I gave you all of that. In my mind, I was like, yo, she the one who went out there. Let her learn. Right? I'm just being honest, being very honest. In my head, I'm like, I gave her this, I did that, I told her don't do that. She did it. You running after some boop, boop, and then all at once the voice said, that is not going to teach her anything. All that's going to do is build onto the trauma that's going to make her think that this is okay.
Right.
And then the mother / the NY till you die concrete jungle came in. And I had what boots did I have on?
Timberlands.
My Timbs on.
That's
my pants.
That's right.
I girded myself with the hammer, a knife.
Not girded, just your loins.
Girded. You said girded.
That's a Bible. That's a Bible term. Girded.
Right? I took my earrings off. I turned to my youngest son. He was like, I'm not going nowhere because you told her not to go. That's fine. You know, my older sons, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Got in the car. I took everything out and I went there. Now, what am I going to do against another 18-year-old? I don't know. But guess what? I was going to make it happen. And I drove all the way to Virginia. I was calling my friend in Virginia. Shout out to my friend. If she's watching this, she know who I'm talking to. I called the police. They're like, there's nothing that we can do. When they said that to me, oh, you know, I was speeding even faster. Long story short, did I help her? Yes. But I almost ended up getting arrested because I was wilding out. Now, what happened? That boy left my daughter alone. And I'm sure every once in a while he tries. But in that moment, I was like, do you understand? I said, do you understand what I could have done to myself? Because you didn't realize what you were doing to yourself.
Right, right.
And can I say I see a difference in my child when she deals with men? I definitely see that. I see a difference.
But see, that's because she learned from her experiences.
Correct.
And we want to hope that a lot of people do that. However, there are people out there who don't have moms like you. There are people who don't have people who have their back like that. There are people who don't learn from their mistakes. I mean, listen, one day we need to just sit down and have these, you know, tell the stories, because I got some stories myself. But here's the thing. At my big, you know, at my big age, as we say, at my big age that I am right now, you gotta understand that sometimes it takes you having to go through shit to learn some shit.
And I understand.
And I'm not, but not all. But no. But here's the thing. But not all shit. As a parent, you need to know when it is time to step in and keep your child safe.
And I understand that.
And you did that. That's what you did.
For those who believe, and I know we don't always talk deep about religion, the two things that, besides discernment, that make me move forward and move back is one, I had a praying grandmothers. And my grandmother always told me, you know what made me live as long as I lived? And she'd give me the first thing. And the second thing was I honored my mother and father. And she drilled that into my head. And in my, like you want to say, in my big age, I still remember to honor my mother and father. That's one. Two, I pay attention to how God does me. Sometimes God rolls in and he's like, boop, boop, I got you. Other times he's like, you're going to have to learn. I'm going to step back. My hand is not off of you, but I'm going to have to lift that pinky a little bit to let you understand, right? And there are times, and if my children were here, they tell you, there are times where I'm like, just literally do a whole Bill Cosby. You're going to have to learn. I do that to people I love the most. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Oh, you still going to do that?
Yeah. But when it comes to children, miscommunication, you're absolutely right. We need to protect and then know when to step back. But as you said, and I'm going to use your words, with children, we don't need to be putting them in shit.
Correct.
And that's what we are doing. We are putting them in the midst of shit.
Or maybe we're pulling them into the midst.
Right. Or we're pulling them.
Pushing them. Listen,
either way.
Pushing them, dragging them, picking them up and throwing them in it. It's all that.
And I'm gonna it is. And I'm gonna tell you my observation that I see amongst, and I can tell. Miscommunication probably can tell too, because like I said, we kindred spirits, and we can see that we can see the shit before it even come to us.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, for these young ladies, again, I'm saying 16 and under. I'm gonna show grace. 16 and under. These little girls that think they grown. We can see them a mile away.
I can smell them before I see them.
You really can. And what perturbs me is something that miscommunication said earlier. If you try to have a conversation with these young ladies, the sad reality is, unlike our generation, okay, and I'm gonna say the 70s and 80s babies, okay, or older.
We'll take it. We'll take that. Go ahead. Give me
Yeah,
that.
or older.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Uh-huh.
We understood because we've already set the precedence tonight that the foundation was laid within our homes, right? We understood that when an adult tried to talk to us, even if we didn't want to hear it, we still heard something.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And the key word is we heard something. Because sometimes we did let a lot go through one ear and out the other, right? But some of it got stuck in the frontal lobe of our brain.
Yes.
Because to this day, I can still remember a teacher talking to me about some things. And she didn't come out, directly and say blah, 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 blah. But she said what she needed to say in a manner for me to receive. And I heard what she said. A lot of it went in one ear and out the other. But there was a small piece of it that to this day, and God rest that young lady, because she was my science teacher.
Okay.
But she told me something that to this day still sticks with me. And this was when I was in middle school. So we talking shit. I don't even how old am. We talking like 30 some damn over 30 years ago. Okay, that's what
The world's like it's so much I can't count.
I can't. Yeah, it's so much I can't. So, but unfortunate reality is with this generation, if you see it and you come to them correctly, I ain't saying coming at them in an accusatory way for them to become defensive. Just, baby, can I talk to you?
Mm-hmm.
They'll look at you and be like, bitch, what?
Mm-hmm.
But how can they accept
And
something?
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but
Again,
the thing is, how can I accept from you what I've never experienced? It's new, right? You're gonna give me guidance. My mama said this is fine. Who are you? Who are you to tell me my mom is wrong?
So let me say this, because when okay,
say
so
it. Mm-hmm.
in the time that over years over the years, I've been a coach, right? I had a step team, and I was a
Oh
coach.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was a coach. I was a coach. Now my team, my girls, they were in junior high school, and they are now all of my girls that I did, they're college bound or graduating or whatever the case may
Mm-hmm.
be. That's how long it's been since these young ladies have been in my presence. One thing for certain, two things for sure. The type of respect that they gave me was because I let it be known from the rip, from the beginning, with no chaser. Don't play with me. You go play home. Go play with somebody at home, but don't play with me. And to this day, they will call. I can call any of them these little girls on my phone, and well, now not little girls because now they grown women.
Bro,
Actually, I can call any of these young ladies, and I can and Miss Lynn, they still respect. That's because what
absolutely.
happened is I gave them what I had when I was growing up. In other words, I had a teacher, Miss Delia Church. I'll say it at PS 176 in Queens. Okay, who was my fourth grade teacher, who was loved and hated equally by a lot of people. Hated because she was not one to mess with, and loved because she was not one to mess with, right? And she used to say, like you said, something you said, went into one ear, came out the other, but this one stuck in my head. She said, "A word to the wise is sufficient. It's the fool you have to worry about."
Mm.
Now think about that for a second, because a person who's wise will hear that, right? A person that's wise will hear something and go, okay, but the fool will test it, will
Yes.
try to disprove it, will do all of those things.
Debunk it, all of
Absolutely.
it.
You
Correct.
say a lot of things like that, and that was one of the ones that I always say in
That
my
was
head.
very
Yeah,
powerful.
words to the wise is sufficient. But she also used to say, when you used to come to her with tears, she used to say, yeah, the more you cry, the less you pee. So it don't, like, the water got to come out at some point. So you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was that old school
Right.
respect thing, right? And like you said, there are young ladies who will test you, but I've never run across any of them because I don't play that. I don't play that. You are not stay in a young girl space. All right, like that part. But because we're dragging, like you said, dragging, picking, kicking, throwing, whatever, these little girls into spaces where they don't belong,
do not belong.
we're leaving them vulnerable to bullshit.
Right.
And as adults, mothers, aunties, cousins, whatever you want to call it, there's a responsibility that we have that we need to start doing and pulling. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people don't want you talking to their kids about what they should and should not be doing.
But that's an ego thing. That's
it sure is, because I'm gonna tell you.
It don't mean their kid don't need it. Their kid needs it.
No, of course their kid needs it. But you know what? But back in the day, you had a village raising the children.
Right.
No, now we have
and now
and mind your business.
Now people literally will mind, like, well, I don't want to get involved. What you mean you don't want to get involved?
Right.
You see a little girl, something's happening and it's not right. You need to speak up.
Right.
But that's also because we don't realize it affects us, and you may not see it, but it does. It affects us.
It does.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying is, like, if nobody if you're gonna listen, if everybody becomes a hero or somebody to somebody else, just think about somebody else for 2 seconds. If you see a young lady that's in trouble, doesn't matter what it doesn't. I mean, if we could just all be in a world where that's okay to say, to step in and say, because I'm quite sure. Listen, Pearl, I know I've been to your house and your daughter. If I said something to your daughter, I know, and again, I've known her for a long. I mean, not long enough, but I knew her when she was little. She still has that thing of respect. Right? Because you instilled respect in her for other people, and you instilled respect for herself as well.
But
that everybody gets that. Everybody gets that.
And here's the thing, okay? One, I see legacy as more than the money, the car, the whatever, right? My legacy is, what am I pouring from myself into the next person, right? I am a seed. I planted into good ground, and we keep going.
Right.
People don't see that. They have a kid, it was to keep somebody, or it was like, this is a lot of work. I don't see that way. So that's one. Two, if I don't have it, how can I give it to someone else? And that's what we need to understand.
That is true.
If my mama don't have it, why are we expecting that child to have it?
That is true.
Doesn't make sense. You do not get a tree from no seed. It has to start with a seed, no matter the size, what size that seed is. So I think, to me, to answer our question, because we are almost at an hour, is, are we selling out our girls? The answer is no. We sold ourselves out. We sold ourselves out, and now our offspring are following in our steps. That is the answer.
Well, whoop, boop, boop, and the boop, because that sounds about right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like you said, if you don't have it, then you can't give it, right?
You're right.
And I'm quite sure if those young ladies, the mamas, had mothers that was like, you ain't out here doing that, because you're not doing it. We're not doing, that's not what we're doing over here. Right? Straighten out your, you know what I'm saying? Like, like your slip is showing. If your slip is showing.
Oh, girl, remember when slips and girdles?
Yeah, your slip is showing. You need to, straighten it out. That's the thing. It's like, we got to have that thing, right? And I feel as though the fact that, like, in the other clip that we had before, where the young man was the one that was checking it and saying, hey, as a young man, I'm looking at this and I'm telling you, you girls, you women are selling your children, selling it out, and this is that and third.
We'll post it on our Facebook page.
Listen, the fact that it takes a young man, because obviously if he saw it, that means everybody else sees it. And not for nothing for not. We got to do better, ladies. We got to pull it together. And if that means building a community, so that these things don't happen, or we see less and less of these things, it just it's one young lady at a time at this point. I feel
Absolutely.
What are your final words, Royal?
Right now, the thing that's in my head is simply for us to be a bridge to our young ladies. And what I mean by that is get involved in various social, because we're all about community service, right? So get involved in your local schools so that you can serve as a mentor. There are a lot of young ladies that just need mentorship. So start there. And a lot of schools are open to having women to come in to serve as mentors to young ladies that are having a difficult time, or just in general. So that would be my thought. Like, if we want to be about it, then be about it. Let's, we've addressed the problem, and let's find a solution. And this is the beginning of a solution.
Wow, that was wonderful. I enjoyed our time, ladies. Look how quick the hour went by.
Yep.
I didn't think we were going to do the whole hour. I really didn't.
I didn't think so either, but we appreciate everyone who joined us for this show. We appreciate all the comments. It's so good to see you, Jenna. I hope I said it right. I'm going to call you T. I'm used to seeing you T. We're so used to seeing you T. We're so happy you joined us, and, we're going to reach out to you too. But other than that, thank you for joining The Experience, where the experience is always good. Have a wonderful night, fam.
Enjoy your weekend.